Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video.
Italy is one of those countries in Europe that will always be popular with tourists from around the world. So if you've never been to Italy before, here are 10 unmissable places to visit in Italy. Number 1. Sardinia. Second largest island in the Mediterranean Sea after Sicily and one of the 20 regions of Italy. Sardinia is well known as a paradise in the heart of the Mediterranean. Obviously, its sunny coasts and its white and sandy beaches are the main tourist attractions. So we're talking about the most renowned towns and cities, the most characteristic islands, and of course, important sites of historical and cultural interest. For example, on the northeast coast, Costa Smeralda is known for its crowds of billionaire jet-setters and Russian oligarchs. But the mountainous mainland disguises many pretty villages. And also worth checking out is Cagliari, capital city of Sardinia, known for its hilltop castello and the medieval walled quarter that's situated high above the rest of the town. It's definitely worth a look. Number 2. The Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast is a 50-kilometer stretch of coastline along the southern edge of Italy's Sorrentine Peninsula in the Campania region. It's Italy's most celebrated coastline. It's a gripping strip of coastal mountains that plunge into the blue sea, villages and lush woodland. And there are 13 towns and villages that make up the Amalfi Coast, each with its own unique essence and its steep streets, which can all be reached by the cliffside road. While some may argue that the peninsula's most beautiful coastline is Liguria's Cinque Terre, but it is the Amalfi Coast that has seduced and inspired countless people, with areas such as Ravello, Positano, and of course, Amalfi. The romantic city of Venice is located in the Veneto region of Italy. This ancient and historically important city was originally built on 100 small islands in the Adriatic Sea. So instead of roads, Venice relies heavily on a series of waterways and canals. It's easily one of the most famous cities in the world, once-in-a-lifetime city. The beautiful central square in Venice, called the Piazza San Marco, has tons and tons of attractions right in front of you. So it's easily one of the most famous cities in the world, one of the most unique cities in the world, and I highly recommend you visit now more than ever before, because who knows what's going to happen to that city in the future. So that's why it's on this list, despite the crowds. Number 4. Dolomites. The Dolomites are a massive mountain range in the Italian Alps, in northeastern Italy, stretching across the regions of Trentino Alto. The Italian Dolomites are, without question, one of the most dramatic alpine destinations in the world. So whether you're out driving, cycling, skiing, or hiking, you'll be captivated by the sheer cliffs, vertical walls, craggy pinnacles, even the karst plateaus, and of course, the idyllic valleys. And down below, the alpine pastures that define the unique landscapes of the Dolomites. You will also see cattle grazing on the alpine pastures that's dotted with huts. And this is the contrast between the rocky mountains and silky meadows that makes the Dolomites so cinematic. So it's the perfect location, whether it's the summer or the winter. There's activities for all seasons. Naples. One of the busiest cities in the country. Naples is the capital of the Campania region in southern Italy. And as its nearby famous sites like the Bay of Naples and Pompeii, Naples presents an ideal base to stay while exploring the area. It features one of the world's largest historic city centres, and one of the highest concentrations of historical monuments, different Baroque churches and Roman ruins, which is basically offering an endless feast for anyone who enjoys history. You can savour the flavour and dive into the city's rough and tumble markets. Naples is definitely one of those cities that you need to visit just to stand and enjoy the atmosphere. Cinque Terre is a string of centuries-old seaside villages on the rugged Italian Riviera coastline. In each of the 5 towns, colourful houses and vineyards cling to steep terraces, and the harbours are filled with fishing boats and the trattorias that turn out seafood specialities along with the Liguria's region's famous sauce, pesto. It's a very popular location within Italy. For example, Manarola, with its multicolored houses hidden high in the hills overlooking the sea. It's easily one of the most charming villages of the Cinque Terre. Now ideally, you'd want to spend 3 or 4 days visiting the Cinque Terre to give you time to explore each village. You can do a couple of half-day walks and a boat trip along the coast. Exotic, chaotic, sultry, and vibrant, Palermo is Sicily's capital and largest city. It's Sicily's largest city and a very complex metropolis. And add to that, you have Italy's biggest opera house and an ever-growing number of vibrant eateries and bars. But don't forget the Cathedral of Palermo, one of the most architectural monuments in Sicily. A reconverted Christian church on the site of a Muslim mosque that was previously built over a Christian basilica. Something that you cannot miss. Capri. A rocky island off the shores of the southern Italian region of Campania, on the southern edge of the Bay of Naples. Capri is simply beautiful. Seriously beautiful. There's barely a grubby building or untended garden around. Now it may be small, but it's the most fashionable square in the world, as some may say. But one thing that everybody agrees on, especially me, is that it's the heart of the island where, sooner or later, all of you who visit Capri will come to watch the world go by. A fashionable place for locals and visitors. and no doubt the Blue Grotto is the greatest tourist attraction on the Isle. It's a natural sea cave, 60 meters long and 25 meters wide. Now, if you do go on this excursion, you will board small rowboats which transport, let's say, a maximum of 4 passengers. It's a really cool experience that you will remember. And it's roughly around 15 to 20 euros from the last time I checked. But I suggest you stay in Capri overnight, as once the day trippers have left, you have the Isle all to yourself. Number 9. Tuscany. Gorgeous hill towns, idyllic countryside, and some of the world's finest collections of Renaissance and medieval art. A visit to my favourite region of Tuscany offers no end of riches. The picture postcard images of the medieval towns that set off in the peak, and the rolling terraces of vines and cypress trees in the valleys, is exactly what you expect to see in Tuscany today. For example, Florence is an unrivaled gathering of churches, galleries, and museums. I suggest you visit, but for me it's just too busy. So try Siena instead, one of the great medieval cities of Europe. And equally not far from Siena are both my favourite towns of San Gimignano and Volterra. If you do want to visit Pisa, then please make sure you visit the town of Lucca. Number 10. Emilia-Romagna. In a region as overwhelmingly foodie as Emilia-Romagna, it's only natural that its capital, Bologna, is dubbed La Grassa, the fat one. This is the ultimate foodie destination, where you can organize a whole gourmet tour around artisan producers of, let's say, prosciutto, mortadella, and some intense balsamic vinegar, and Italy's king of cheeses, Parmesan. But in between the eating and the drinking, you have the magnificent cities of Bologna, Parma, Ferrara, and Ravenna, which boast sumptuous Renaissance palaces, medieval and Romanesque churches, and unique artworks which can all usually be enjoyed without the queues or the crowds of Venice or the Tuscany region. Now, this region is definitely one to watch on this list, and one I will be showcasing soon on this channel.